Marge, look at me. I fully support you burning this motherfucker to the ground. So the tangerine-tittied tyrant is super pissed off over Marjorie Taylor Greene's appearance on 60 Minutes last night. So let's see what super sane and totally coherent thing he posted about her today. I'm going to attempt to abridge this. So the only reason Marjorie Taylor Brown, Greene turns brown under stress, went bad is that she was jilted by the President of the United States. Certainly not the first time she has been jilted. Jesus Christ. Too much work, not enough time, and her ideas are now really bad. She sort of reminds me of a rotten apple. Marjorie is not America First or MAGA because nobody could have changed her views so fast. Her new views are those of a very dumb person. This was proven last night when washed up Trump-hating 60 Minutes correspondent Leslie Stahl, who still owes me an apology from when she attacked me on the show with serious conviction, blah, 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 Hunter's laptop, yada, 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 interviewed a poorly prepared traitor who, in her confusion, made many really stupid statements. Then he goes on to say more stuff about demanding an apology about Hunter Biden's laptop and blah, blah, blah. I mean, Marjorie, you play with fire, you're gonna get burned. Everybody has said how he has no loyalty to anybody and he will step on anybody that crosses him. I mean, you had to have known this was coming. That being said, Marge, look at me. I fully support you burning this motherfucker to the ground. I'll just be watching from right over here.
Last night, Marjorie Taylor Greene gave an interview with 60 Minutes where she bashed the president. Let's get into it. Greene, who recently announced her resignation from Congress, did the 60-minute interview where she aired her grievances against President Trump. She accused the president of abandoning his America First agenda. She accused him of catering to major industries and big donors. She said Republican members of Congress are terrified to criticize him publicly. She did say the president was angry at her for her support of the release of the Jeffrey Epstein files. She said the president stated that this would hurt a lot of people. It was basically a one-hour interview where they had a Trump bash fest. Did you watch the interview? If so, let me know in the comments what your thoughts were on it. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Monday. God bless each of you.
Check out this clip of Marjorie
Taylor Greene spilling the tea on 60 Minutes. Well, the Congresswoman had her first big interview, her first big sit-down interview since announcing that she is leaving Congress. She didn't hold back here on this interview on 60 Minutes. She says that Republicans privately mocked Trump, but later kissed his butt, another word for butt, once he won the 2024 primary. She's gone from MAGA loyalist, calling herself America First, and accusing Trump of ignoring real issues at home. Her timing, why is she doing this right now? Well, she says that leaving Congress is really giving her the freedom to speak uncensored, and she's hinting at a next chapter here. Could it be media? Could it be activism? Could it be a run for another office? There's a lot of speculation. President Trump, he has come for her publicly, labeling her a traitor, pulling his endorsement, calling her a disgrace to the Republican Party, and even suggesting that he would primary her. So she says she's stepping down. She will not be a member of the U.S. House of Representatives as of...
Is furious with me.
What did he say?
He said that it was going to hurt people.
Hey, you know that thing where two awful people start dating and everyone's just like, ugh, because their awfulness seems to multiply when they're together. But inevitably, they end up breaking up and then they turn their awfulness on each other. Best thing you can do is just pop some popcorn, sit back and enjoy karma as it plays out. I had a situation like that in my personal life this year. Pretty satisfying to see. And that pales in comparison to watching Donald Trump and Marjorie Taylor Greene try to destroy each other. Marjorie was on 60 Minutes last night. She had a lot to say about how she's not MAGA, she's America First. How she wants the Epstein files released, and those victims deserve that. She had all kinds of things to say, and Orange Man was bigly mad. With yet another ridiculous True Social post, the only reason Marjorie Taylor Greene turns brown under stress. He's real proud of himself. for that one. The only reason she went bad was that she was jilted by the President of the United States. He's speaking in third person now. He says a lot more insults and then says that he's super upset with the new ownership of 60 Minutes, Paramount, that they would allow a show like this on there. They're no better than the old ownership who just paid me millions of dollars for fake reporting about your favorite president. Me. I wonder if he typed that and did the two thumbs. Me. As he did it. This is insane that this doesn't even make us go like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? That this is so par for the course that we just kind of yawn when we see him do this. And he's still in charge of everything. Oh, but something else stood out. Interviewed a very poorly prepared traitor who, in her confusion, made many really stupid statements. I want to play one of the statements I think he's talking about right now.
Behind the scenes, do they talk differently?
Kissing his ass.
They're all going to laugh at you. That's it. That's what's got him upset. Because he knows they all laugh at him, and they do. And she just told the whole world that they do. And he's beside himself. One day he will be gone. And all of these people will be like, I always thought he was a joke. Give none of them any slack. Marjorie Taylor Greene is not on a redemption tour. The only thing she can acceptably do is leave office and never be heard from again. All those people who lined up to kiss the ass of the king, the emperor who wore no clothes, will never forget any of you. You're all a joke.
I have this mental image of Trump in the middle of the night sitting on his golden toilet, tweeting things furiously. I can't get it out of my brain. So here he is once again doing that. Except this was in the morning. The only reason Marjorie Taylor Greene turns brown under stress. Yeah, because having to explain your jokes really just grade A humor right there. Went bad is that she was jilted by the President of the United States. Who says jilted? Anyway, certainly not the first time she has been jilted. Oh, he said it twice. Too much work, not enough time. And her ideas are now really bad. She sort of reminds me of a rotten apple. I hate the way he capitalizes stuff. It just sends me up a wall. Marjorie is not America First or MAGA. Now, I will say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I don't like her. But boy, howdy does she stick to her convictions about stuff. And wouldn't you know it, we're going to skip a little bit. Hunter Biden's laptop from hell was totally produced by Russia, not Hunter himself. Totally proven wrong. Oh my god. He continues for a while. Like, it keeps going. And then he ends it saying, I demand a complete and total apology. Yeah. No, they hurt your feelings. What is happening that our president is demanding a complete and total apology? We established earlier that I can't do Trump accents, but I'm still gonna try, and it's always gonna sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger for some reason. But yeah, MAGA infighting once again. Supposedly, rumor on the street, so the story goes, is that there's gonna be a mass exodus in the next couple of weeks of people from the Republican Party because they don't want to run and lose. They'd rather retire than
he did this, but is now doubling down on it. Like, and again, note the total indifference. A sane person would have been like, oh my God, Marge, listen, I'm pissed off at you. I felt that you betrayed me or whatever, but obviously I didn't mean to, direct any of this towards you, let alone your son. I apologize. Trump won't do that because he's a malignant narcissist and a sociopath and morally inferior to any Democratic president and politician who has ever lived. Here's another.
Let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene's interview with Leslie Stahl on 60 Minutes last night. It is Monday, December 8th. That's about 10:15 a.m. West Coast time. 60 Minutes did a story on Marjorie Taylor Greene last night. A lot of reporting, a lot of interviewing. Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump, very famously, a couple of months back, had a significant falling out with one another. And she describes Donald Trump as being completely enraged with her because she signed on to the discharge petition to compel the DOJ to release portions of the Jeffrey Epstein investigative file. First of all, to every Trump supporter out there, if Donald Trump is innocent, why would he become enraged at the release of the Epstein files? You guys, it's so obvious to any thinking human being that Donald Trump is probably on almost every single frickin' page. When the House Democrats, this was 2 or 3 weeks ago, House Democrats released 3 emails involving Jeffrey Epstein. House Republicans then released 20,000 pages of emails involving Jeffrey Epstein. All of those emails had been obtained from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein and were not part of the DOJ's Epstein file. Donald Trump's name appeared in those 20,000 pages almost 2,000 times. You know whose name didn't appear anywhere in there? Joe Biden's or Kamala Harris's. Bill Clinton, if he's guilty, send him to prison, just like Donald Trump. See how easy that is, MAGA? Anybody who's guilty should go to prison, even if they're a Democrat or if they're a Republican. Anyway, so there was a significant fracture in the relationship between Marjorie Taylor Greene and Donald Trump when she signed on to that discharge petition. And he very famously tweeted out that Marjorie Taylor Greene was a traitor. Marjorie Taylor Greene recounted last night, after President Trump called me a traitor, I got a pipe bomb threat on my house, and then I got several direct death threats on my son. Leslie Stahl said, you say the president put your life in danger, you blame him, you say he fueled a hotbed of threats against you, that you blame him for the threats against your son. Marjorie Taylor Greene has made those kinds of threats against Democrats in the House and the Senate. You know, it's like Marjorie Taylor Greene is right on one issue, the Epstein files. I've not seen her renounce the insurrection at the Capitol and call it what it is. I've not seen her renounce her support for Donald Trump's 2020 efforts to overturn the election. She has trafficked in overt racism, bigotry, misogyny, anti-Semitism. I mean, imagine, just think back to all of the horrific Islamophobic things that she said against members of the Squad, Ilhan Omar, the horrible things that Marjorie Taylor Greene has said about her, the things that she has said about AOC and other women in Congress. She is a terrible, horrible human being. But regarding these pipe bomb threats and death threats, she said she told Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance about it. Vance said he would look into it, while Trump said something that wasn't very nice. Greene added a moment later, and then CBS ran a clip a clip of Trump scoffing at the idea that MTG's life is in danger, saying, frankly, I don't think anybody cares about her. She went on to say that Republican members of the House regularly make fun of Donald Trump in private, but that they're terrified of him because when you stand up to him, you get things like pipe bomb threats and death threats, because Trump's base they're crazy and they're violent. And she also recently voted against a referendum or something condemning anti-Semitism, and Leslie Stahl called her out on that. And she's like, I've cast that vote dozens of times condemning anti-Semitism. We don't need to keep doing it just because AIPAC tells us to. Okay, she's right on two issues, Epstein and AIPAC. And she went on to talk about how members of the House are beholden to AIPAC and that AIPAC kind of controls the House of Representatives. Predictably, Donald Trump posted to Truth Social and lost his mud in response to this interview. He is angry with the new ownership of Paramount CBS. He said they're no better than the old ownership. Again, everything's a quid pro quo with him. He expected that when he approved Paramount's bid, or Skydance, whatever the company was, their bid to buy Paramount, which owns CBS, that CBS News would get on board with him and stop doing things like interviewing Marjorie Taylor Greene. Trump wrote the following: the only reason Marjorie Taylor Brown, quote, or parentheses, Greene turns brown under stress, close parentheses, the only reason that she went bad is that she was jilted by the President of the United States. Certainly not the first time she has been jilted. Too much work, not enough time, and her ideas now are really bad. She sort of reminds me of a rotten apple. Marjorie is not America First or MAGA because nobody could have changed her views so fast, and her views are those of a very dumb person. That was proven last night when washed-up Trump-hating 60 Minutes correspondent Leslie Stahl, who still owes me an apology from when she attacked me on the show with serious conviction that Hunter Biden's laptop from hell was produced by Russia, not Hunter himself, totally proven wrong, interviewed a very poorly prepared traitor who, in her confusion, made many really stupid statements. That was all one sentence. That was all one sentence. My real problem with the show, however, wasn't the low IQ traitor. It is the new ownership of 60 Minutes. Paramount would allow a show like this to air. All caps, they are no better than the old ownership who just paid me millions of dollars for fake reporting about your favorite president. Me! Exclamation point. Since they bought it, 60 Minutes has actually gotten worse. Oh well, far worse things can happen. Threat. P.S. I hereby demand a complete and total apology, though far too late to be meaningful, from Leslie Stahl in 60 Minutes for her incorrect and libelous statements about Hunter's laptop. Signed off, President DJT. Donald Trump is in full-on dementia. He is in full-on dementia. He is completely losing his grip on reality. But this is exactly how you know that the things that Marjorie Taylor Greene said in her interview are true and accurate, because of how he reacted and how he responded. He is a crazy man. He has no grasp on reality. He is the most fragile little man baby, titty baby, as the I've Had It podcast ladies refer to him. Donald Trump is a fragile, weak little titty baby. And I believe the things that Marjorie Taylor Greene said in her interview were probably accurate. I mean, and she and Leslie Stahl went back and forth with each other when Leslie Stahl tried to call her out on her being part of the problem of American politics today and the rhetoric that she has used and the rhetoric that she has employed, Marjorie Taylor Greene, in the racism that she has trafficked in the attacks that she has done on other Democratic lawmakers. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, who again is a terrible person, was like, well, why don't you acknowledge what you've done? You attack people, da da da. Marjorie Taylor Greene was trying to compare being a racist attack dog who supported overturning an election and supported an insurrection with having to sit for a tough interview with somebody from 60 Minutes. In Marjorie Taylor Greene's warped little brain, those are equivalent to one another. So they're both lunatics, a pox on both their houses, but Marjorie Taylor Greene was right on two things: Jeffrey Epstein and AIPAC's influence on Congress. So I will give her credit for those two things and nothing more.